I'm Giraffe, and I'm here to read to you a part of my favourite story, The Witches. So let's get stuck in. A note about witches. In fairy tales, witches always wear silly black hats and black cloaks, and they ride on broomsticks. But this isn't a fairy tale, this is about real witches. The most important thing you should know about real witches is this. Listen very carefully, never forget what is coming next. Real witches dress in ordinary clothes, look like ordinary women. They live in ordinary houses and they work in ordinary jobs. That is why they are so hard to catch. A real witch hates children with a red-hot sizzling hatred that is more sizzling and red-hot than any hatred you could possibly imagine. A real witch spends all of her time plotting to get rid of the children in her particular territory. Her passion is to do away with them one by one. It is all she thinks about the whole day long, even if she's working as a cashier in a supermarket or driving around in a fancy car. And she could be doing any of those things. Her mind will always be plotting and scheming and churning and burning and whizzing and fizzing with murderous, bloodthirsty thoughts. Which child? She says to herself all day long. Exactly which child should I choose for my next squelching? A real witch gets the same pleasure from squelching a child as you get from eating a bowl full of ice cream. She reckons on doing away with one child a week. Anything less than that and she becomes grumpy. One child a week is 52 a year. Squish them and squiggle them and make them disappear. That is the motto of all witches. Very carefully, a victim is chosen. Then the witch stalks the wretched child like a hunter stalking a little bird in a forest. She treads softly, she moves quietly, she gets closer and closer. And then she swoops in. Sparks fly, flames leap, oil boils, rats howl, skin shrivels, and the child disappears. A witch never gets caught. Don't forget, she has magic in her fingers and devilry dancing in her blood. She can make stones jump about like frogs, and she can make tongues of flame go flickering across the surface of the water. These magic powers are very, very frightening. Luckily, there aren't a great number of real witches left in the world today, but there's still enough to make you nervous. In England, there's probably about 100 of them altogether. Some countries have more, others have less. No country in the world is completely free from witches, and a witch is always a woman. And as far as children are concerned, a real witch is easily the most dangerous of all the living creatures on earth. What makes her doubly dangerous is the fact that she doesn't look dangerous. Even when you know all the secrets, you can still never be quite sure whether it is a witch you are gazing at or just a kind lady. If a tiger was to make himself look like a large dog with a wagging tail, you would probably go up and pat him on the head, and that would be the end of you. It's the same with witches. They all look like nice ladies. For all you know, a witch could be living next door to you right now. Or she might be the woman with the bright eyes who sat opposite you on the bus this morning. She might be the lady with the dazzling smile who offered you a sweet from a white paper bag in the street before lunch. She might even, and this will make you jump, she might even be your lovely school teacher who is reading these words to you at this very moment. Look carefully at that teacher. Perhaps she is smiling at the absurdity of such a suggestion. Don't let that put you off. It could be part of her cleverness. I am not, of course, telling you for 1 second that your teacher is actually a witch. All I'm saying is that she might be one. It is most unlikely, but, and here comes the big but, it's not impossible. Oh, if only there were a way of telling for sure whether a woman was a witch or not, then we could round them all up and put them in the meat grinder. Unhappily, there is no such way, but there are a number of little signals you can look out for. Quirky little habits that all witches have in common. And if you know about all of these, if you remember them always, then you might just possibly manage to escape from being squelched before you are very much older.